Hi there, this is Mellie Test of magicwithmellie.com, and this is another intuitive logo concept sketch debriefing for Spirited Navigators. And I'm about to flip you around so that you can see the sketches. So this was my very first stab, and it's funny, the reason there are so many birds is because when I first spoke with Kapil on the phone, the image of a bird came to my mind, and while I tucked that away and sat down with an open mind, what I felt compelled to do was to scan through their existing Instagram feed and just note what shapes and what images were jumping out at me. Definitely the bird was the most prominent. I was also playing around with some of the more, pyramid shapes. Pyramids are a very stable form and give kind of that stability and also extend into the sky. So there's that sense of reaching and expanding as well. But this was just my very, very quick first take. And what I usually do with these intuitive logo designs is I let things percolate after our initial consultation, after my client's initial feedback, and sometimes I will sit down, throughout the day, throughout the couple of days during the turnaround time that I offer, and, iterate. So I'll sit down and have a first dump, and then I'll get an idea maybe partway through the day, and I'll sit down again and dump again, and things begin to evolve. So I'm going to flip the page to where the evolution has continued. So here you can see there's a lot more going on. I was playing around with the idea of, transportation, of direction, of these little anchoring pins, vehicles, and what really stood out to me, the thing that really came to the forefront was the idea of the backpack and then bringing in the wings from the bird imagery, which was, kept coming into my mind. I couldn't get away from it. And so I feel like that's a very strong part of the concept. So this is kind of the first idea in this vein, where we've got the backpack and we've got these wings, and it's the idea of one being portable. So Spirited Navigators is up and moving and visiting all these places. It's the idea of having everything that you need within you, being that toolkit yourself, essentially, where you're able to travel and you have all of the tools that you need. The idea of the wings feels so prominent to me because it's that idea of freedom, that idea of being spirited, of letting the winds carry you. When birds are flying, so often the wind currents, the air currents carry them, and they don't even need to flap or do any work. And so there's that idea of the effortlessness, just being lifted and carried across the globe, which is what Spirited Navigators aims to do. And then I took the idea of these directional signs came in almost as, directional signs and arrows, and this idea of infinite possibility, the idea where you're light and you are able to be carried in any direction, that the possibilities are endless. So this is where this main concept began. And I'm going to open up some of my tracing paper to show you some, possible further iterations. All right, so this is raw, and I'm very old school. So what I do is I use tracing paper. I don't have an iPad. I like to work with my hands. There's that extra energetic oomph that comes from working with your hands directly. And so here in this iteration, you can see I rounded the backpack some. And the idea behind that was that I had this idea that came in, I guess I traced it on this side, where, what if that backpack became a globe? And it felt like it was maybe becoming a little too busy, but this still might be a valid direction without getting too complicated. But the idea of that backpack being the globe and then flying, and then, the directional possibilities surrounding it. You can see here I was playing around a little bit more with what if I made the backpack into a globe. I almost feel like that might be too much because it could go in one of two directions. So the idea of the globe, that being a person of the world that is inside of you, that you carry that spirit of travel within you, literally carrying the globe, as a backpack, something that you can carry with you wherever you go. But that might be taking it too far. Maybe it really is about, just having everything that you need with you and being able to, carry that in all directions. So these are a couple different directions the concept could take, as opposed to the initial direction, which is a little bit more of, just a standard backpack. But ultimately, this is the energy that I kept picking up on and, was very, very prominent when I was tuning in. And so that is why there's so much focus on this after all of the other iterations that I've done. And I hope that it has been fun for you to get some insight into the intuitive design process and the power of an initial concept. So it's not about just having, some stock graphic to represent you, because something that is generic, that has been used for others, is not capturing the uniqueness and the magic that you and your business are here to offer. So what I do is tune in and bring forward the essence of your company, because that is what's going to speak to people. That is what's going to magnetize people when they can really connect with the energy behind something, with the concept behind something, when they can just feel how much you have to offer by looking at your visual mark without needing things to be explained. They will connect and even, get their own interpretations and their own additional connections with that imagery, with that essence. And so that is what I am intending to bring forward here, and that is what I'm excited to share with my clients. And from here, what usually happens is my clients who choose to move on to the next step will give me feedback on this initial concept sketch. Well, how about this? Or we really resonate with this. What if we added that? And most of the time, we're good to go with the initial concept sketch. But there always is that co-creation, that collaboration, that conversation, because I honor my clients as much as I honor the energy that comes through. And so it does become a conversation, and we begin to refine, we begin to digitize, we go into adding the text and styling, the entire mark. With this image, I'm almost getting the sense that Spirited Navigators would be, an arch spirited over the top and navigators under the bottom. Almost like this image could become a badge. Because this is going to be an international image, we want something that's going to be, catchy and evocative that people will want to wear on a hat or on a t-shirt or other products even, to extend the branding. So that's where this concept is going. I'm really glad that you tuned in to get some insight, and I hope it was fun for you.